Does anyone remember the huge TikTok craze we had about a month or two ago, right before Black Friday, where we were getting squad foundations and people were leaking them on TikTok and the TikTok investments absolutely blew up? Well guys, I can't believe I'm making this video. We are going to talk about how to become a foot millionaire by TikTok trading. Yeah, I know, it's kind of weird, but over the last week or two, we have seen cards absolutely explode. Well, yeah, there's a good chance that that might happen again very soon. By very soon, I mean like in a couple days. Yeah, we have a gap from Headliners Team 2 into Team of the Year next week, this coming weekend. So likely, and what I've heard kind of around, is we could be getting squad foundations. This would be just like what happened when the first one came out, where we had a gap period between, I think it was Team of the Group Stage, Team of the Knockouts, or something like that, and then Black Friday. So let's talk about it, because there are going to be some really good cards that come out, some really good investments that you can make. So stick around so you don't miss out on any of that. If you guys do enjoy today's video, make sure you guys drop a thumbs up on it. And of course, if you're enjoying the daily FIFA 22 market content review, and of course even leaks, make sure to subscribe to the channel. So here we obviously have the squad foundations from last time round. We did get the Portuguese League, we ended up getting the Dutch League, as well as we got the English Championship. So this time around, obviously we won't be getting the same leagues that we got previously. Now of course there's no confirmed leaks on what leagues are going to be next. And last season we were actually able to see what the teams were through the season pass that was in the store, but this time around we also have just a couple players that are actually already, out as far as leagues go. But there is one league that is in this that we didn't get a squad foundation for, and that is the MLS. So I think the MLS will be the main league in this next set of squad foundations. And there are a lot of really good investments that you guys can kind of make heading into it. So just quickly looking at each of the objectives, what you needed was, players from each league to kind of go in. You needed 7 in the starting squad here. For this one, you needed the same kind of thing, but in rivals or squad battles. And the best thing to kind of do with these cards was to go ahead and buy league specific cards that were just high rated, very good, but not super high rated, but good.
What?
So let me just show you a couple examples, because I know that really didn't make sense. So we had cards like Kudus, who were really, really good. This is one of the main ones that flew up during the time. He went from like discard price at 10k all the way up until about 25k on Xbox. Like a ridiculous rise on this card heading into his kind of promo weekend. Now we haven't seen any of this kind of start to happen just yet. But Kudus was a good card. There were a couple championship cards that kind of did the same thing, as everyone was trying to hype in on these investments. And I think this is going to be something that we probably see again as far as this kind of squad foundations go. There's no really big content coming this weekend, so everyone kind of switches their focus to these kind of smaller cards, especially because every single trader is going to call it out and every single little Timmy is going to go and buy them on TikTok, Twitter, all of that. So as I said, we obviously are probably going to get the MLS. Now I'm not too sure what the other 2 leagues could be. It could be the Chinese Super League potentially, and maybe like the Mexican 1 League. I don't know, the Liga MX I think it's called. I don't know off the top of my head what it's called. But you're likely going to see like 3 leagues like that. Maybe you'll see something else as far as a minor league goes. Maybe you'll see the Japanese league, because we did get obviously Miura and the other card. So maybe you see something like that, but I'm pretty much guaranteeing that the MLS will be in. It's also been leaked that MLS Milestones are coming, so that is going to be the squad foundations. So I guess we do have a confirmed leak, and if you're still watching at this point, well, there you go, the MLS is coming. So what we can go and do is look to invest in any of the cards that are actually gonna be usable in this league, and there's not many. So Clint Dempsey's not a bad shout. Now you guys have to be careful with these cards, because, well, Clint Dempsey's a risky one. He's not a very good hero card whatsoever, and hero cards got burnt really, really badly. And you can see that people have already invested in this card. He is started to kind of get inflated already, now that we know the MLS one is coming out. So you might not even want to jump in a card like Clint Dempsey, but if you could find some big undercuts on this card, it is a good shout potentially as one you can invest in. I'm sure the hype is not at the peak just yet, but cards at discard price like Vela, Nani, they're not bad shouts. Really anybody that's pacey. We saw that pacey cards were the way to go with the previous squad foundation objectives. So even cards like Joseph Martinez, he's not a bad shout either, that you could kind of pick up. Now, I'm not really a big fan of any of the MLS cards really, and it seems a lot of these cards have started to kind of fly up, especially the inform ones, unfortunately, just due to the fact that we had that mid-icon SBC come out, which ended up pushing informs up a ton. Not to mention the supply on a lot of these cards is very scarce since the MLS has ended, so none of these guys can really get special cards. So for me, guys, I think just buying a few of these cards at discard price is the way to go as far as the golds go, because it's very little risk. Even the silvers I think is a good shout. There is of course like rating requirements on the objectives and stuff, so people can't go in with a crazy high rated team, but it's the MLS, so not many people can really get a super high rated squad anyways. But just look at the pacey guys, it's probably the best bet. Be careful with some of the higher ones. As far as the informs go, I'm not a huge fan of them, honestly. I don't think many people are going to use them. Now, if we do happen to get, say, like the Liga MX, or we do get, say, the Chinese Super League, the same kind of deal with that one as well. You guys can go ahead and look at some of these, pacier cards that are very good. Specifically, I think like this Castillo guy, he's a really good shot at discard price. 4-star, 92 pace, 75 shooting. It's the best shooting stats of really anybody at this kind of pace spot. But yeah, you guys want to pick up those cards. If we go ahead and take a look at Campos, you could see even him, he's not a horrible shout, especially that he's a fodder price. And we are obviously having that other content kind of come out, but he's gone from 15 to 20K. It's a little risky as far as picking up a card like that goes, but hey, if we do get, the Liga MX, he could pay out. Now guys, listen to me. I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. This is not something you want to go all in on, because it's a little bit different from the previous leagues that we got, in that we don't have these golden players. Like we don't have like a Kudus in one of these leagues. Like these cards aren't great that you're going to be using to complete these. And even then, is the demand going to be there to complete, say, the MLS, the Chinese Super League, the Liga MX, or whatever other minor leagues might come out? My guess is probably not too much demand compared to some of those other leagues are. Even the championship, it's way more popular than some of these leagues that we're looking at. So you do have to be a little bit careful when it comes to that. And again, there's no confirmation that these are even the 3 leagues. I will say though that if we do get the Chinese Super League, which could be likely, I think that this card is a really good shout. And this is one I'd store in your club. Just for like whatever, just pick one up, store him in your club. He'll be a card that would shoot up, for example. Like this is probably the best investment that you guys could have. Alessandrini isn't horrible, but he is rather expensive. I think the Xbox price is actually not a bad shout, because the PS price is set at about 50k higher, 40k higher, and same with the PC one. So for someone like Alessandrini to be sitting this low, I think it's actually a decent shout. He's about 62k. Don't listen to this 59k price tag on him. But like if something were to come out, this card would be one that shoots up. Now, like I said, we might not get a Chinese Super League. Heck, we might not even get squad foundations this weekend. But EA said that in each kind of season, we are going to be getting some kind of squad foundations, SBCs or something like that. Of course, the ones that are currently on console actually expire in 7 days. So that would actually go over this weekend, and I don't see a reason why EA would release these new squad foundations during Team of the Year rather than putting it before Team of the Year and then having Team of the Year afterwards. So I'm a little unsure about how it's all going to run. I feel like EA made a mistake with the time there, but maybe for all we know that these cards do end up just dropping this weekend and we're going to have just both sets on console. I really couldn't tell you. It's EA, so everything's very unclear. But there is obviously leaks out that the MLS one is coming out, so I don't see why these other squad foundations wouldn't come out. I don't see why squad foundations itself wouldn't come out this weekend anyways, too. And aside from that, nobody else is really talking about squad foundations. We should be getting it soon anyways, and even if it doesn't come this weekend and it comes next week, you're still gonna have a ton of really nice cards that you guys can kind of go in and try and get and invest in without them getting thrown up in price. But like I said, we don't have too many great cards to kind of invest in early on here, so do be careful with that. I do think some cards will get over invested in, and of course you guys always want to sell in the hype. A lot of these cards you have to be careful of. Just like Kudus, we saw how fast this card could fall, and we talked about it in yesterday's just fodder video. A lot of over investment in this market. So if this, this is something you definitely want to sell in the hype for, because just like Kudus, he came up very, very fast, and he fell just as fast too. So be very careful as far as that goes, especially with these new ones coming out too. People are going to be eager to get a lot of these little cards in their clubs. People love these squad foundations and stuff like that. And I'm sure there'll be a good completion rate among them all. So guys, I did mention that Ocampos card was actually affected due to an SBC being leaked and obviously just fodder in general. And that's because there is going to be a mid-icon player pick coming out. If you guys want to learn more about it and what to invest in and what it is and when it's coming, check out this video right here. It's going to tell you all you need to know about it. I highly recommend you do take a look at it because, of course, Team of the Year is coming, and that is something that's going to shake up the market a ton.